We're on Taharot Perek Yud, Mishnah Aleph. First Mishnah in the last chapter, 10th and last chapter, Masechet Taharot. Okay, we're talking about preparing olives for olive oil. And the Mishnah says the following. Hanoel beit habad bipnei habadadim. If you lock the olive press, because of the olive press guys, because of the workers. Badadim from beit habad, from the olive press workers. So now you lock them. You don't lock them out. It says in Bartanura, you lock them in. Hanoel beit habad b'nei habadadim. Amei Ha'aretz. You have Amei Ha'aretz. Osim malacha b'beit habad. They're working in your beit habad. V'tiharan ba'al hazetim, the owner of the olives, purify. They made them go to the mikvah and do whatever they need to do. K'dei shi'asu Hashem and b'tahara. So basically, you're making a mahadrin batch of olive oil. V'na'al beit habad bifneihem, and you lock the beit habad in front of them. Shelo yikansu Amei Ha'aretz l'sham, v'shelo yetzuhem. So that you basically lock the doors. They can't leave, and no other Amei Ha'aretz can come in. Not very good on workplace safety. Very good with regard to, I guess they didn't have one-way locks nowadays, in those days, but now you would lock the door from the outside and they could leave. Okay, shelo yetzuhem, they can't go out. V'yitam'u b'maga Amei Ha'aretz chavreim. If they go out and meet their friends, and their friends are going to make them tamei. And then the olive oil is tamei, and it's not a mahadrin batch, and that's very bad. Okay, that's great. So noel beit habad b'fnei bedadim. Clearly that's what they did. V'hayu lisham, and there were there, Bartanura has the version Vayu sham, Kelim Tmeim Midras. And they were Kelim that were Tamei Tumat Midras, meaning they were Tamei, like seat cushions and mattresses and things that people sat or laid upon. So now what do? Do you assume that the Badadim, that the Amei Ha'aretz use them or touch them and are now Tamei and the whole thing is bad or not? Rabbi Meir Omer Beit Habad Tamei. Said Rabbi Meir, the whole thing is Tamei. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Beit Habad Tahor. Rabbi Yehuda says no, Beit Habad Tahor. Okay, Rabbi Shimon Omer, we're going to come to why in a second. Rabbi Shimon Omer, im tahorim lahem, beit habad tamei. V'im tmein lahem, beit habad tahor. If the items are tahor vis-a-vis to the Amei Ha'aretz, then the beit habad is tamei. But if they're tamei to the Amei Ha'aretz, then the beit habad is tahor. I'll explain it in a second. Okay, first of all, we know Rabbi Meir says beit habad tamei. Why? Because Rabbi Meir assumes, what do you mean? They touched that thing. They moved that thing that's Amei Midras. They sat on it or whatever. They became tamei. Okay, and they made everything tamei. They're not meticulous. They're not careful. They're Amei Ha'aretz. That's what they are. They don't care about these things. Rabbi Yehuda says it's tahor. Why? Dinisarim al tumat vadai. Hoil v'chazer tiyaran lakach. They got the jobs, and he took them to the mikvah. Maybe they're not careful themselves, but they know, like, if there's something tamei, they're not going to touch it. There's a seat cushion lying around, they're not going to touch it because that's the whole point of the owner, of the boss. He made this whole thing about don't get tamei. So you can assume that they didn't do it. Rabbi Shimon says, listen, it depends on what their attitude is to the thing. If tahorin lahen, if the thing is tahor to them, meaning if it's something that they usually don't worry about, says about Tanura. She was not tamei. She's the wife of an Amei Ha'aretz. Now remember, vis-a-vis a chaver, this thing is tamei. But from them, okay, but from their perspective, in their eyes, the wife wasn't a nidah, she wasn't anything. She's an Amei Ha'aretz. They're Amei Ha'aretz. They don't think she's tamei, and therefore, in their eyes, it's tahor. So they're going to use that thing, and therefore, im tahorin lahem. It's from their perspective. Then it's tahor, then beit habad tamei, because then they're going to use it, and then they're going to make the whole thing tamei. But im tmein lahem, if even for them it's tamei, let's say an isha nida sat on it, or a zava sat on it, I think a nida as well, right? Yeah, and a nida or a zava sat on it. So for them, they also hold of that tum'ah, therefore they're not going to touch it, and therefore beit habad tahor. Rabbi Yossi says, v'chi mipnam mipnei mat tmeod. Yes, I agree with Rabbi Meir, who said Beit Habad Tamei. He said it's Tamei. But why is it Tamei? Because the thing about Amei Ha'aretz is they're not Biki'in, they're not knowledgeable and careful about what's called Tumat Hesed. Tumat Hesed is causing something to move, even if you don't touch it. So if there's something that's Tamei, Tumat Hesed, they're not gonna. They think I didn't touch it. I just moved it. I pushed it away with the garbage can or whatever. And therefore, since they're not careful about that, Beit Habad Tamei, the Chayshina, that Beit Habad is Tamei, the whole olive press is Tamei, because we were worried, Shema Hisitu, maybe they moved the thing, Afal Pisha Lo Nagubem, even though they didn't touch the item, they moved it, and that creates Tuma. We'll stop here. and dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rab Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.